Good afternoon. Today we are going to focus on lesson 10.7, model shapes. And this is on page 437, 437. So with these pages being on Seesaw, I just would like you to trace on the screen unless you printed your worksheet out. But on page 437, it says, use your finger to trace around the shape, name the shape, and tell whether the shape is flat or solid. Talk about the number of sides and the number of vertices. So we're going to go ahead and start at the top, and we're going to trace down. That's one side. Trace across. That's two sides. Trace up. That's three sides. So what shape has three sides? Correct, a triangle. And a triangle is a flat shape. And with that flat shape, we know that there's 1, 2, 3 sides. And the three sides also have 1, 2, 3 vertices. Good job. Please turn to the next page. We are now on page 438. 438. Number 1 says, use clay to model 4 spheres as shown. Now, I don't have any clay at home. I don't have Play-Doh. I went looking for marshmallows. I didn't find any marshmallows either. But what I did find are these gummy snacks. And these will work just as fine as anything else. So I have 4 gummy snacks. And they're almost in the shape of a sphere. They're very round, and so we're going to go ahead and use them as our spheres for today. Number 2 then says, place straws into the spheres as shown. So like this picture, we're going to go ahead and place something into each of these spheres of either clay, Play-Doh, marshmallows, or even gummies like I'm using. I, again, don't have the straws, but what I did have was toothpicks, and those will work just as well as a straw would. So I'm going to go ahead and put my first one in to my gummy, and then I'm going to go ahead and take my second one and put that into my second gummy. And so now I have these two attached. Now I'm going to get another straw or toothpick, and I'm going to attach it to this gummy that is down here. And I'm going to put it in and have my gummy in there. Oops. It's hard to do with one hand, but I'm going to go ahead and put it in on the side. There we go. And then I'm going to take another straw, since I have this on its side. I'm going to put it in on this side. And then when we have those done, then you're going to take your last 2 gummies and put them on the top so that they can go in to this one, just like this. And then I'm going to take this gummy, put it in just like this. And now I'm going to just take, I'm almost done, and I'm going to take my last straw or toothpick, and I'm going to put it in to complete that shape. And so when I have that shape completed, I'm going to then move on to page 439, and number 3 says to do the exact same thing with 4 more gummies. So I have 4 more gummies here. And I'm going to do the exact same thing by putting in the toothpicks into our gummies and attaching them so that we can have 2 full gummies of shapes. So we're going to put these on. I'm going to go ahead and attach them once we've got them. So This is the tricky part once I have those in. Do it with one hand. You guys will have two hands hopefully to work with, and maybe you'll need some help from your parents. But once you get it, they go on pretty easy. So I have that and the last one, which, sorry about the camera work. I'm really trying to make sure that you see all this. Awesome. All right, so now we have our two shapes put together by gummies and toothpicks. So I have one, and I have, oops, I never completed this one. I have this one over here. Okay, once you have them completed and you have your two squares like that, then you're going to move on to number 4. And what it says is stand a straw into each corner of one of the shapes. Carefully lift the other shape and place it into the straw as shown. Name the solid shape. So right now we have two flat shapes. We have two squares, and we're going to turn it into a cube, a solid shape. And I'm going to let you do that at home, but what you're going to need is you're going to need another straw or Q-tip or toothpick, whatever you're using as your in-between to keep them together. You're going to need another one, and you're going to go ahead and stand it up like this in between on top so that it's making the layer go up. And if you're using marshmallows, that's great too, but you definitely want to build up. And make sure what you definitely do is when you are using straws or toothpicks or a Q-tip without the cotton puff, but if you're using any of those, make sure that they're the same size, because if this one is longer than the one I just put in, then your shape's not going to be equal. So you want to make sure that before you get started, all of your shapes are the same size. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you two more sections of doing that. And so now I would do it again here, and then I would take this flat square and then I'd put it on top and build on top. So now I have my cube shape. And that's something that's really fun to do at home, but you can use anything that's sticky that will work together, and anything pointy or pokey that you could put in between. It doesn't have to be clay, and it doesn't have to be straws. You can use, like Mrs. Hall did, gummies and toothpicks, or you can find something else that would work in your house. When you are through, go ahead and turn the page. And on page 440, we're now going to use our pencil to answer number 5 and 6. So number 5 says, Maria's window has the shape of a square. Draw a picture of the shape. Tell a friend if the shape is flat or solid. Talk about the number of sides and the number of vertices. So Maria's window is in the shape of a square. So we're going to go ahead and draw her window. And what we know of a square is it has 4 equal sides and 4 vertices. 1, 2, 3, 4. And because it's not built up or to the sides, it is a flat shape. So Maria's window is a flat square. Number 6, use objects such as clay, straws, and circles to model a solid shape. Draw a picture of the solid shape. So you can go ahead and take your gummies or your marshmallows or your clay or your Play-Doh, and you can create a solid shape of what any kind of solid shape that we're looking for. So if you can put them together and create a cone, then you can try and make these create a cone, and then you'll draw a cone. If you did another cube just with something else or more, then you'll go ahead and draw a cube. And since we did a cube on the other page with these gummies, I'm going to go ahead and draw a cube as if it was a block that we would use in the playground. All right, I hope you had fun today building and showing off your solid shapes. See you tomorrow.